Alright, 2 nights ago, I'm pretty sure I experienced what I can only describe as a psychotic episode. Probably the first proper, actual psychotic episode I ever experienced. There's no other word to describe it. Based on what happened, I'm fairly certain that what I experienced was a textbook example of drug-induced psychosis. So, what happened? So, two nights ago, on the evening of, I think, was it February 1st? Yeah, February 1st, I wanted to go to sleep, and I noticed that we had a small vial of cannabinoids, THC oil. Now, THC is a psychoactive compound that's extracted from marijuana and weed. It's something that we got for my dad when he was suffering from cancer, and it was used to calm his nerves and give him pain relief so that he could sleep easier. And my mum previously said to me, if you're ever having trouble sleeping, you can try administering a few drops of these under the tongue, and it's supposed to calm you down. So I thought I'd give that a try. I didn't take that much. I only took 4 or 5 droplets. Next time, I'm not taking any more than 3. So I took the 3 droplets. Also, I remembered I had these fake melatonin gummies in a small pot, which I'd ordered from Amazon ages ago, except they're not melatonin. The actual drug melatonin is banned in this country, right? So instead it had this, it was some kind of knockoff, cheap replacement that complied with UK laws, and I can't remember what was in it. I think magnesium or something. Anyway, I took 3 of them. I'd also had a couple of glasses of wine earlier that day because it was a Saturday. And I went to sleep that night, and I woke up a few hours later not realizing what was about to happen. So I woke up at around 3 a.m. and something felt off. I was wrapped up incredibly warm because I was wearing my bedroom dressing gown. And yet, weirdly, I distinctly remember I felt like there was this electrical current flowing through my body. See, between my thumb and my index finger, I felt like I had the power to conduct and control the flow of electricity. And if I went to sleep in my bed, I would electrocute myself. That's what I felt. That's what I thought. I had no clue what was going on. It wasn't until a couple minutes later I thought and realized, wait, am I tripping right now? Am I high? So I sat there trying to rationalize what was going on, and then I thought to myself, I need to go downstairs into the kitchen and get a glass of water because I feel my mouth feels quite dry right now. So that's what I did. I went downstairs into the kitchen, poured myself some tap water, and then I went back up into my bedroom. And then once I was sat there in my bed, I thought to myself, did I really just go downstairs into the kitchen? I feel like I don't remember any of that. So it was very strange. I felt like I was lapsing in and out of consciousness, in and out of reality. It was a very strange and bizarre and unsettling feeling. It was very, very unsettling. The entire time, I wasn't fully sure. I had the lucidity to understand that my brain was running tricks on me, that I was phasing in and out of sort of consciousness, and my I felt like my memory was self-deleting. I would do things even so far as 5 or 10, my short-term memory especially, was becoming unreliable. I was doing things that I knew with certainty I probably wouldn't remember by the following morning. It was a very unsettling and harrowing experience because the entire time I recall wandering around, I remember fearing that something could jump out at me. Like there could be a hallucination. There could be some kind of magic creature or a goblin jump out of the dark and torment me. Another thing I was worried about is half of me was thinking I should probably tell Mum I'm having a psychotic episode, or I should call 999. But then the other half of me was thinking, no, I shouldn't do that. If I do that, I'm going to have to speak to ambulance. They're going to ask questions about why I have THC in my blood. And the THC vial we have in this house, it's not legal. So the police are probably going to come around and they're going to ask questions about that and why we have it and so on. And then it's going to get back to my place of work that I have drugs in my bloodstream, and that's not going to be good. I can't afford to lose my job. So I made the reluctant decision to suffer in silence. There's so many other things that I don't think I remember, but one thing in particular I remember, my mind was racing a mile a minute. I was having so many vivid imaginations. I barely had time to process all of them. I remember one particular thing I remember imagining all these conversations between different people, and simultaneously I felt like I was every single one of them at once, at the same time. And I distinctly knew that something was not right with me at this point, because I never usually, I do daydream, I do have a lot of fantasies from time to time, but never like that. So I reasoned the only thing I could do is try to sleep it off, and hopefully by the following morning, it would finally abate. The psychosis would finally go away. Which it eventually did, to be fair. It took me quite some time, though, to finally rest, because I still felt that I would electrocute myself if I went to sleep on my bed, like that. Anyway, now that I have definitively experienced psychosis, I realize there are some people with a genetic predisposition to experiencing things like moments like this. One thing I can say, it was really unsettling. I'm grateful that I only know how to experience this. The only knowledge I have of this experience was upon taking cannabinoids, but it was pretty terrifying. I'm not in a huge hurry to try that again. And, well, the human mind is surprisingly fragile. You think you know what kind of person you are. Well, if you mess around with psychedelics, you'll, how can I put this? Well, you'll be alarmed and amazed at just how little control you have. I'm just grateful that I didn't do anything drastic or reckless, like shout or wake up anybody in the house that time. Because I was very paranoid. I was really, really paranoid, and I'm amazed at the level of self-control I exerted throughout the entire trip, but I can't guarantee that the same thing will happen next. Alright, anyway, I gotta go to work now, but I thought I'd share that with you, my first ever... Actually, no, this wasn't my first, this was the second time, but the last time what's weird is, the last time I experienced drug-induced psychosis, because this did happen once before, actually. I took more. I'm fairly certain I took more THC oil last time compared to how much I took this time. And the symptoms that I experienced back then, I remember thinking they were so much more mild compared to what I had this time. I just woke up in the middle of the night at that one time and thought I was experiencing a vivid, bright thunderstorm outside. It was nothing like this. Anyway, psychosis is a really trippy and bad experience, and it's nothing to mess around with. Kids, don't do drugs.